94.3 WYBC, the rhythm of the city. Good evening, New Haven. This is Moving Target, and I am your host, Jay Kemp. And with me, as always, is my comrade, Remedy Sharif.
Peace, 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 peace. Sensational Sundays.
What's up, bro?
What's up now?
And of course, we got Grace the Stallion back with us again.
Hey, happy Lovers Weekend, guys.
It is Lovers Weekend, right? It's your Valentine's.
It is.
How was your Valentine's? Was it good?
It was awesome. You hear I have half a voice.
She was like, oh, well, that could be for many reasons.
From yelling and
well,
screaming.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. From
at concerts.
Reasons.
Y'all so
at
dirty.
Concerts. Okay, just making sure. You know what I mean?
Miss you guys. How are y'all?
Yeah, we missed you. It's good to have you back. Ren, what about you, man? How was your Valentine's weekend?
Oh, man, my Valentine's weekend was exceptional, man. I did absolutely nothing. And yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's really great. I'm not going to get into no more of that.
Yeah, that's it.
It was chill. Yeah, man, so Rem, I want to go to your PSA real quick, all right? But before we do that,
okay.
We got a great show for y'all tonight. Again, we will be on this first hour live on the radio, and then when you want to follow the conversation, we're going to pick it back up on YouTube for the B-Side podcast of Moving Target. But, you know, I wanted to, you know, we talked about this before we went on air, and I thought it was just hilarious. It's not funny because people's money is getting stolen, but it's also hilarious to hear this because so Dr. Umar Johnson, he's been on the show one time. He's been on the show. He's supposed to come on the show another time. He's been to Connecticut plenty of times, and this brother he's been a very significant role person that has shed light on the weaponization of child psychology as far as on black boys, and just really exposing how they are trying to do our black boys. They're trying to demonize them. They're trying to make it where, you know, they're being they're being given medications that's only making them worse. They're not being treated right in the school system. Teachers are being unfair to them. Everything he's been doing was the truth. And then he started raising funds for the FDMG school building, all right, or school. There's a black boys' school for black boys, straight Pan-Africanism at its finest. All right, he's been collecting this money since freedom, but he's been collecting it for a long time. I'm just gonna say that. But he got the building. He got the building, but this is what he said he needs. I just want to go through everything we need that he says we need for this building.
Now we got the building.
We got. Let's hear what we need for the building.
Oh, okay.
All right. So let's just.
Hoping we have an electrician or someone who knows an electrician. I'm hoping we have a carpenter or someone who knows a carpenter. I'm hoping we have a licensed plumber or someone who knows.
Okay, hold up. So we need electricity. Wiring. We need a carpenter. What's going on with the structure? Then we need a plumber.
Okay.
Because. Right. So all right, that's pretty bad.
We got the building,
but we got where our millions of dollars went to for these young boys.
All right.
Who's a plumber? I'm hoping we have a roofer or someone who.
Okay.
We must. So we. No. All right.
Knows a roofer. I hope we have a painter or someone who.
Oh, okay. We definitely need a painter.
We need some paint too.
So okay.
We need some paint.
I gotta see this building.
I got to, man.
Millions.
Watching this, and they're going to say, "Hit up Dr. Umar. Tell him that you are a licensed plumber. Tell him you are a licensed electrician. Tell him you are a licensed carpenter. Tell him you are a licensed painter. Tell him you are a licensed roofer, and that you're going to come and fix the roof for free."
Oh, come on. Oh. So
It's for the children.
It's for the. You got the building.
Come on, man.
But we need a roof. We need water. Carpentry. We need carpentry. Oh, it goes further. I mean, this video is 10 minutes long. He goes in and say, okay, and we also need buses. Yes, we need buses.
Wow.
I need a black-owned flag company. I need a black-owned I'm like,
Nah, what
did you buy?
What did you buy?
Did you go houses on Winchester and just
Yo, this is sad because this brother's been a brilliant brother, man.
Absolutely.
And it's like, really, man?
We have to hold everybody accountable.
Absolutely.
You know, as much as we're making fun of it,
Absolutely.
It's still very serious because there are a lot of black people, specifically black women, who have given their money, their funds, to get this building open. And you are playing. As much as I respect this brother, it's been way too long for you to finally say we got the building, but technically we don't have a building.
You got sticks standing up. You put some sticks in the mud and was like, here we go. We're going to do
receipts and see what he paid for so far.
He didn't pay for nothing.
Wants everything that needs to be in a building for free. So what did you get? And he's jingling the keys. I got the keys. I'm like, keys to what?
Keys to what?
Please tell me, where is this?
Yo, this is incredible.
Yeah,
man. It's sad.
It is sad. But we have to hold him accountable. Like everybody, not just him. You know, like as much as we want to say about. Listen, LeBron James, salute. Did you see what they did for them kids?
Yeah.
Well, they gave every one of those kids tuition.
Free.
4 years.
All set.
I was almost in tears when I even saw that.
Right.
I can only imagine
They
as
all
a kid, you reach under your seat and you find out you're going to college.
For free. All set.
Come on,
Yeah,
bro.
man. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And you sitting here playing, talking about we got it. We have, he says, we have reached success. We have reached success. And you know, Umar Johnson will repeat it 3 times. Like the third time is when you get it. You know what I'm saying? We have reached success. No, brother. Not if you all that.
Listen,
But you don't want to talk about this specifically. You know what I'm saying? And I know he won't because he really doesn't want to be questioned on that. And it's like, brother, we've been waiting long enough. It's been years, and we got to hold you accountable now.
And one thing y'all gonna know is that Moving Target is not biased in any way, shape, form, or fashion. If you did it, you could get it.
That's right. So we are going to, Rem, I want to go to your PSA.
Yes,
all right. What is your PSA real quick before we transition to our topic?
People, please. Public service announcement 1-on-1 with your boy Remedy. Let me tell you something. These are for all parents, godparents, uncles, aunts, grandfathers, grandmothers. If you got a child, if you take a child out, if you have a child in the home, do not let your young child be one of them kids that come and stand directly in front of other people that are eating. Sit your child down somewhere or feed the child, but don't let them come stand in the face of those that are eating out at restaurants, out at a house function, and that one little kid nose might be running, or you see the dry remnants of nose running, and they come stand literally right in front of you, and this ain't right.
All right, fair enough.
So get your kid right.
You know somebody kid and stood over your food.
Yeah,
Right in front of
was
you,
upset.
boy, and you be like, I'm
Pass
not
that coronavirus right to your plate.
I'm not gonna feed you. But I know what happened to all of us though.
All right. Well, yeah, we're going to make sure that happens, man. We're hoping people really listen to your PSAs.
I hope so. So might get slapped.
Recently, there has been backlash towards Gayle King about her questions regarding Kobe. All right. And we know about the backlash. We know what Snoop said. We already kind of touched on that a little bit. And then we also saw that Snoop apologized. And then after that, Dwayne Wade recently opened up about how his son identifies as a woman and wants to be able to help his child really learn, whatever he has to learn, and really for him to learn.
And how old is the boy?
The boy is 12 years old.
You're a boy, Damon.
So what are you saying?
Identifies as a girl.
Right. So the kid opened up, identified as a girl, and he wants to, let people know that this is something him and Gabrielle Union are really learning and they're supporting. But the problem was there was a lot of backlash towards even him and his child, from other men. And I wanted to really get to the bottom of how us men are representing ourselves in these spaces when it comes to the response to Gayle King and when it comes to the response of Dwayne Wade in other areas, right? So to talk about this, I wanted to bring a really great brother on. I think he's calling right now. Let's pick up this. 94.3.
Hello?
Hey, Omari.
Hey.
Peace, brother. What's going on? So, everybody in New Haven, I want you to welcome Omari Barksdale to the show. All right, and we are going to be talking and really unpacking this whole idea of masculinity. We've had this conversation before, but this brother is an expert in educating other men in regards to masculinity and patriarchy, right? So Omari Barksdale, even though you got the power and the wire in your name, I'm sure you are a powerful
Shout out to my brother Omari Hardwick.
No doubt, no doubt. But yeah, we really thank you for joining us, man, on this conversation.
Hey, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invite.
It's very important for us to have this. So first, let the audience know who you are and what you do.
Okay, so I do a few different things in life. I'm the regional director of the Black History 101 Mobile Museum, and I just left from the Providence, Rhode Island, and Worcester, Springfield, Massachusetts area. I just got home yesterday from out there. But I also do work surrounding deconstructing the pervasive aspects of patriarchal culture. So here in Detroit, I work with the Detroit Lions and doing programs in schools with the boys. So I do programs in 4 different schools each year. I also am with SASA Center here in Detroit, which stands for Sexual Assault Services for Holistic Healing and Awareness, which was founded by Kalima Johnson, who is one of the trainers for the NBA and some NFL teams. So I'm also with 2 domestic violence organizations, one in Detroit, one in Oakland County, which is Wayne County Safe, and in Oakland County is Haven. So I work with all these organizations on doing prevention work, which just looks like me going in and talking to groups of men and boys about sexism, misogyny, domestic violence, consent, and also train organizations, companies, schools, so on and so forth, going and train their staff members as well.
Okay, great. So I think you are.
And I'm continuing to do training, and as qualified as I may be, I always have to let people know that I'm still, I have 46 years of life, which means I have 46 years of steps to filter through, so I'm still a work in progress as well, and I'm continuing to take steps to evolve myself as well.
Okay, cool. So now, the Dwayne Wade situation, he's recently opened up about his son or his daughter, his son identifying as a girl, so his daughter, and
yes,
and about educating himself on the whole topic. But I know a lot of brothers that just responded in a way where, if it was my son, I mean, I couldn't have it. I couldn't have it. I gotta disown him. And a lot of, even some saying that Dwayne Wade, and what's happening with his son is like another way that Hollywood or entertainment or these high-profile celebrities are pushing this gay agenda. I mean, there's all these different perceptions of this that are all negative, And I guess my question to you about that is, what is it about the idea of a black man specifically, son, being gay that bothers us so much? What is happening that makes us feel like, nah?
So, man, so the problem with this is all of these things are so layered, right? As they always say, there's levels to this, right? So, excuse me, let's start with the most basic piece we can get to on this. a lot of men have issues with a son or a boy in the community, especially if it's their home, exhibiting traits that they commonly refer to as woman-like or girl-like. Because our patriarchal agenda, that if you want to talk about agendas, our patriarchal agenda is to coddle our own self-esteem issues while also continuing to be so egotistical that somehow everything reflects back to us, right? So if our son identifies as transgender and decides to or feels that they were born in a way in which they're actually a girl, right? Then we feel like our masculinity failed, and by default, they failed our son.
Yeah, right? I'm not gonna lie. I definitely would feel like, what did I do that my son, you know?
So that's the first piece. Like, the first piece comes back to our ego, which is the same reason why we don't commonly have a problem with women being assaulted or offended unless it's a woman that we're very close to. So it's the proximity piece.
Right.
But the proximity piece nationally looks like, okay, if it's somebody's son, I still feel that, right? But what you don't hear a lot of, because you heard this from Magic Johnson too, right? But what you don't hear a lot of is, and it's not even fully in the media, you don't really see men saying, you know, if that was my daughter, I wouldn't be having it. If she identified, if she said that she identified as a man, which, you know, she would be a man, right?
Yeah.
So if you notice, there's a vast difference in how we treat women and girls on this non-binary or pseudo-binary scale.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Definitely a double standard.
Right. Which shows and proves and evidences that it's all about our ego, more so than anything else. Now, when we talk about this agenda, right, we feel like, oh, our sons fell victim to this agenda, this gay agenda, right? This whole agenda piece, statistically, is a fallacy, right? Because they tend to say that it comes through TV and radio, media in general, right? You know, I had a conversation with some folks like, yo, all you see on TV now is gay people. You know, every show. And I ain't got a problem with gay people. Why they gotta be on every show? Why I gotta see that? That's their agenda. Everybody wants to be seen, right? Everybody wants to be represented, right?
Yeah.
Is it an agenda? And why? Okay, let's say there's an agenda. Agenda is not necessarily a bad word, right? Because as black folks, we have
There's a black agenda
to be. You know, our agenda is to be represented as well. But statistically, when you really get into statistics, and this is when we have to just stop saying stuff, and this is this whole, I call it FOTEP, some people call it HOTEP. This is that whole FOTEP movement, where we get so black, that all rationale is thrown out the window, right? So like, rationale don't even matter.
So do you completely discredit the idea in Hollywood that black men are always casted to be either gay or in a dress in their career? Do you denounce that?
And to add to that, sir, just real quick to add to that, it seems very strongly every time you see these shows, it could be multiple shows, they always seem to fit a black man in there and have him playing the gay role, some way, somehow.
So this is where we got to be careful with our terminology.
Yes, sir.
Because we say words like always, right? And this is why I challenge people to look into statistics, because there's statistics for everything, right? So I'll give you an example. My uncle and aunt were talking about how prevalent LGBTQIA life is on television and in movies, right? And statistically, the numbers don't even match the numbers of real life LGBTQIA statistics, right? So you have a very small representation on television statistically compared to what's reality. Just like you have a very small amount of black folks on TV compared to what's reality.
But
right?
but even within those small black folk that are on TV, you know, the little number of black men that are on TV in Hollywood, you really can't deny the fact that so many at some point in their career, you know, play a gay role or wear a dress. Do you don't think that has any influence or any meaning behind it?
I think saying terms like so many can be misleading. It can go a couple different ways, right? So that's why I'm careful with words like a lot or so many
or always,
because when you look at it statistically, you can name more black men who are actors that have not been represented in a dress or so on and so forth than you can those that have.
Right.
You know, so the problem goes back to, and this was actually part of my original opening part of your question. I forgot to add it. If we didn't view femininity as secondary or tertiary, right? If we didn't view womanhood and femininity as secondary and masculinity, we wouldn't have the problems that we have with it. Womanhood is very secondary, last place. It's problematic to us because when you think about it as men, majority of the time, the way we judge for fun is either by referring or making some kind of joke that makes the subject of our joke, might be our boy, might be our brother sitting in the room, to relate him somehow to femininity, which are linked to femininity. So our way of either making a joke of someone or to discredit him, you know, or something about femininity, you know.
That's what becomes the humor of it.
Right. The humor is based on a subconscious disdain for women. In some cases, it's a conscious disdain, but the humor is based on a misogynistic.
What about as far as with Gayle King? What happened with Gayle King? I think some people might know, some people don't know. But the narrative that Gayle King and Oprah are against black men is not anything new. Like, this has been going on. I think the questioning that she had about Kobe was the straw that broke the camel's back. But before that, people were already talking about how Oprah and Gayle King have this thing against black men. What do you think about the idea that black men are being demonized in mainstream media, specifically by black women?
So I haven't been real happy with Oprah for years, right? But not because of that. But if you really look at Gayle King and Oprah, if you really do the research, and I'm not a big fan of either, but I have to be honest and I have to give them their credit. If you really look at research at the things they're involved in behind the scenes, where they put their money, where they put their energy, and the cameras out rolling, it's not consistent with that narrative about black men. It's also not consistent to say things like Gayle King never talked about Harvey Weinstein, because I've seen her make a statement about Matt Lauer and Harvey Weinstein on air. It wasn't in great detail.
Okay.
But
it wasn't a documentary.
Pardon?
It wasn't a documentary like Oprah.
Well, here's the thing. Oprah, everybody kind of knows Oprah's history is that she was sexually assaulted, right? And she was sexually assaulted by men in the black community and her family. and around her family, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's ironic that we can't look at it as Oprah wants to address. To me, that's support.
Okay.
To me, that's support of the black community. That's support of the black women in the community, but because we don't want to be called out. We don't want anybody who looks like us to be called out, especially our favorite ball player. We don't really look at the nuances and the dynamics of this.
I think so.
Right?
Pardon, not to cut you. I think that that can definitely be true, but also looking at the dynamic of, because she was so close to this, it'd be one thing if she wasn't close to a Harvey Weinstein, and then and she said, okay, I'm gonna do something and talk about the that happening in our community.
Right.
That's one thing. But when you're in pictures and you're kissing this man on the cheek, and we know what he's doing and know what he has done, then I think that's where we start looking at it kind of funny style. Like, wait a minute, what's really happening?
Because Michael Jackson wasn't here to defend himself, but there was a whole documentary that she supported none on him. And then for Russell Simmons, I think what I have a problem with is the fact that you're in position of media, a media platform, whether we're a small platform or a large platform, what you say has an influence on whatever narrative you're contributing to. And the fact that she used her platform twice to talk about black men as opposed to somebody who was right in her circle, who was at the apex of the Me Too movement, I just don't see how we can dismiss the fact that there is an intention behind demonizing black men in the media when this is how they use their platform.
So let me ask you this question. What presidential candidates in history has Oprah Winfrey publicly went to battle for?
Trump. No, that's a joke. Not Trump. All right, Obama.
Okay, a black man.
Yes.
She campaigned for him on her show.
Yeah, she did.
On several occasions. She publicly highlighted Will Smith not in his role as an actor, but in his role as a great father. See, every time you say she tore down a black man, I can show you a black man that she lifted up. She was significant in Barack Obama getting elected.
She definitely was.
Was that before or after he announced his blackness?
That he denounced?
Announced it, but he wouldn't come right out and say that he's
black.
No, she rolled with it from the beginning, though. She was Barack Obama all the way through all of his phases.
I agree.
So,
I agree with him saying that we forget that all the good things that someone does, as soon as they do something that we don't like, we're quick to tear them down. And I agree with him with Oprah. She does a lot for the black community, for black women. She builds schools. She does help out a lot. But as soon as one thing she does we don't like, we tear them down. I mean, yes, she didn't really bring out the Harvey Weinstein as she should have, because he is in her circle. But she has done a whole lot for the black community. We should praise her for, and we don't.
I wouldn't say we don't praise her though, but
right.
I think the representation that how she uses her media platform, I definitely would criticize her. But to that point,
and we can't skip over the fact that these people are right in her circle.
Right.
So
let me say this: black men typically have never supported Oprah. So that's not an audience that's not an audience that she has ever really had.
Right, that's true.
So the fact that she still does highlight black men in the way she does and do different things, I mean, to me, her trauma was at the hands of black men. Right, and we have to pay attention to that. Like, we can't blow by that. Like, because as a black woman who was once a black girl, maybe she would just want a black girl to be a black man again.
But it's black.
That's very true.
It's not just the black men that are bashing her right now. The women are doing it too.
Women too, yeah.
And I think Jay, you and I talked about getting into that conversation as well, the custodianship that some women are taking.
Let me give context to that too. So, you know, something that happened not too long ago, which Grace is gonna laugh at this, but it was actually something that was part of a bigger conversation. I told you that, and it's not. So there was a woman I was speaking with who I told her that I still was coming out of a bad breakup and I'm still healing, right? And she laughed. She laughed and was like, "Man, you ain't healing. Black men don't." And that is only a reflection of what a lot of women say in regards to black men saying that they're healing and being vulnerable. So it's like when we have this conversation about encouraging black men to be vulnerable, I wanted you to talk about how the dynamics where as much as black men are now trying to be vulnerable, you have black women that are like, either they don't accept it or they don't believe it or they just dismiss it. And I wanted you to talk a little bit about that. You said it was called patriarchal custodian, something like that.
Yes, it's patriarchal culture custodianship, right? But not necessarily just that in all cases, right? So there are a couple different ways this can happen, right? So one is women are so used to us not being vulnerable and laughing at each other when we are vulnerable that it's not a norm, right? And anything that's going to become a new norm and a healthier norm still has to be us. It's not going to just be immediately accepted, right? And because we tend to, as men, going back to the part where we use slight against women as humor, you know, we tend to crack on women for crying or crack on women for needing to, you know, watching what we call chick flicks, right? So because they're so used to us tearing this down and also rejecting it, some women just like it could catch them off guard when you're trying to be vulnerable because it's new. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and the majority aren't doing it, so it's really hard for women to believe that. It's true.
But I think what we're talking about is not whether it's hard for them to believe it.
Is once a man
it's a problem.
But it's a problem, especially once a man says I'm healing, and you're laughed at. That's where the problem comes in.
Like overall, for men, if we're trying to get to a place where we're becoming more vulnerable, whether it's majority for women to believe it or not, like that's neither here nor there. It's the fact that as much as we have to take responsibility of new ways that we need to engage in society and with women and with ourselves, women also need to know their responsibility to say, hold up, whether it's the norm or not, we need to be more responsible in receiving men who are being vulnerable and be able to know how to respond to that.
Right, but
don't get me wrong. I'm not excusing the response.
No doubt. Oh yeah, no, not
I'm just talking about. I'm definitely just talking about how it happens. Because you know, when we get caught off guard by something, a lot of times we'll either laugh or get scared. Those are pretty much
the two things.
You know, the two things, right?
Right.
So, but also you do have the custodianship side, and yes, women do need to. But women will only know that as men we're taking being vulnerable seriously when we start to talk about it in the open. Right? So it's not their responsibility to just get it, because they didn't create patriarchal culture. They're not purveyors of it, and they're not privileged by it.
Right.
So it's up to us to shift the narrative and the understanding through our actions and our public speak out. Right?
Yeah.
Because it has, you know, we have to put everybody on notice. Like, it's a new day. We're healthier. We're going to get healthier.
So with
and we need y'all to walk with us on this route to health.
Absolutely, yes.
Because y'all been asking us for a while, and we finally started
now
to get
we're doing it, and y'all playing us. So with as far as the new day and what we're in, a few years ago, and I've talked about this on the show so many times, but I almost don't like saying the term toxic masculinity anymore, because it seems like the term toxic masculinity has been hijacked, and now everything that's masculine is deemed as toxic. So, and I don't think there's enough conversation on what healthy masculinity looks like. So, what is there a healthy masculinity, and what does that look like?
Okay, so before I get to that, I do want to finish that last answer real quick.
Okay.
About the custodianship piece.
Yes, yes.
And that is that just like in the black community, we all have ideas and understandings of folks like Ben Carson and Stacey Dash that are custodians of white supremacy or white privilege, right? Mm-hmm. And so there are women who, either through Stockholm Syndrome or just through association with a particular type of group of folks, that do help push the custodianship of male privilege and patriarchal culture. So, like, there are women that believe that I know a woman right now that believes that if she gets out,
wow,
and she taught this to her husband, who didn't even buy into that before they met. Like, she trained him up.
She telling him to smack her.
Yeah, to get him. Yeah, I'm just the only way I'm gonna be right, because I come from the streets. So the only way you're gonna get me right with you is if you show me that strength.
So the last thing he could do is just cry in front of her and say, "Baby, I'm hurting."
He could never.
Man up and smack me.
Yeah, he could never.
Oh,
right?
Man.
So there are some, to me, a segment of women, and that also has degrees to it, right? Just like the custodianship from black folks has different degrees to it. You know, like you got some folks that supporting Trump, or you got some folks, I mean, just from a chair position, not actively.
Right.
Or you got some folks that are black principals in the school who want to cut off dreads when a black kid comes in with locks.
Right.
Not dreadlocks, the locks. I got locks. I don't know why I said dread, but still.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. You dread me, man. You dread me.
So that I'm just to move on from that. I just wanted to make sure we get past.
Okay.
So what does healthy masculinity look like?
Yes.
Oh man, this is like the most beautiful question that somebody could ask me, because I use the term toxic masculinity too, right? Mm-hmm. But I like to make sure I don't use it as much as healthy masculinity.
Thank you.
Right. I'm a trainer of healthy masculinity, not toxic masculinity. Right. Masculinity looks like, as opposed to toxic masculinity, is some of the things that I do see from black men. We just don't see enough of. I think there's some momentum brewing. Is the fatherhood piece.
Yes.
Right. So black men statistically are doing better as fathers than anybody else in this country.
We are.
Right. So and I have groups of men that I've worked with that went through my training, and when they walk away from training or somebody else's training, they have healthier things to teach to their children. Mm-hmm. Right? So they're like trying to learn how to be a better father from all angles. Mm-hmm. Right? Healthy masculinity looks like showing up and being there for your children and constantly working to evolve yourself as many aspects as you can to give a better part of you to your children so that they have the best start they can. Mm. Right? Mm-hmm. Healthy masculinity looks like showing up for black women. And I'm just going to talk about the black community, right? Because that's my focus.
Yes. You know, our focus.
Of course, I focus beyond that when I'm called to do so. But right now and every day, my first and foremost focus is us.
Yes.
So showing up for black women. So I was so pleased to see so many brothers on my timeline with Snoop video assaulted Gayle King.
Yeah.
I was so sad to see so many brothers go at Snoop for that, right? And not not necessarily to support Gayle King, what she did. You know, that was a moot point to them. It was about him disrespecting her and threatening her.
Yeah.
And like, yo, that should never happen.
Nah. And we look crazy as black men, you doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and you do, and for those that defended Snoop, you are defending one of the kings of black misogyny in the history of hip hop.
Oh man, listen. That's facts. And we gonna get, and I want to get into that too. We
get back to that. But so healthy masculinity looks like showing up for black women, where so that black women aren't always just in the position to have to defend themselves and each other, but that they have intended allies, family, to go to war for them like they go to war for us so often. Like when you look at Ferguson, when you look at the uprising in Baltimore, women were at the front of all of that. When you look at the Black Panther Party, women were the structure and the backbone of the Black Panther Party.
Absolutely.
While the men did less work, but they got the charisma and they got the camera time.
That's facts.
So women out here fighting for their sons on the block.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not to say men aren't, but so showing up for women, those brothers that are showing up for women, which I'm starting to see more and more of as the weeks have been going by for the last 6 years since I've been doing this work. I've been able to witness it because other people are doing the work too.
So I want to cut you real quick, only because we are going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to come back on the B-Side podcast on YouTube for Moving Target, and I want to talk about hip-hop and the celebration of thought culture, and how we're pretty much representing ourselves as men, and how are we representing the women when it comes to hip-hop, you know, when it comes to the Cardi B's and the Meg Thee Stallions and all that. So let's come right
Before
back.
we break, I just want to say, healthy masculinity, men being vulnerable with men and with women, and being okay with it. Go ahead.
Yes. We're coming back. We're going to continue this. All right, this is 94.3 WYBC, the Rhythm of the City.
Peace.
Hi, this is Rich Jackson, General Manager at Mazda of Milford. I'm excited to announce that construction on our new showroom and service department has begun. We are open during construction and look forward to providing great service as always. It's been a better time.